Whoops. Oh my gosh. I there's no way that this has just happened. But sorry guys. Ciao everybody. Welcome back to the Juve Corner Cast, Tutto Calcio episode 4, everybody. We are here. We got Dan here. He's a Napoli fan, of course. Dom is back, everybody, the man of the hour. And then we got Francesco, the Milan fan here, as we're waiting for Nino. We're going to see if that happens with him, if he's going to come on. And I think it's Nick as well, the Lazio fan. So he'll be probably on as well. But yeah, just want to say to Dom and to Dan, congrats on the Scudetto. You guys deserved it. You deserved it, even though it sucks to say it. Sucks to say it, just sucks to
I
say
got
it.
one thing to say real quick. Rigore
What
per
is it?
Juve.
Yeah, nah,
Rigore per Juve.
that was a clear rigore. Here we go. That was a clear rigore. Even
Oh,
Francesco's
I didn't say it
because he
wasn't clear
knows.
now. I didn't
Clear.
say it wasn't clear, but I bet somebody's
Ah.
pockets are more full, aren't they?
Yeah, nah, man. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. Listen, I know. It's don't worry about it, but there's a reason why I just put Conte there. So we'll talk about it, of course, later. With all the news, and that's going on with Conte, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. But Francesco, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I mean, just went to go watch the game with Nino. Nothing to do. I mean, next weekend, my ring hasn't arrived yet, so next weekend is when I plan to propose to my girlfriend. So I got that coming up. Then getting ready to move to my new apartment. What? 2 months from now?
Yeah.
Finally glad the season's over because that was a disaster show the entire season. And I got this guy to my right already laughing. He's already laughing already over there.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, guys in the chat, I'm telling you right now, we have a whole GC of Tutto Calcio, man. It's the most funniest GC I've ever been in. I'm telling you, with Francesco going back at it, with Dom with the videos. It's so funny, guys, and I'm telling you. But Dom, what's going on, brother?
All good. You can hear me?
Yep, all good, man.
Yeah. I just want you guys to take a look at the background. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Especially the Milan fan. He hasn't done that in a while. But
we did it a few seasons ago. What are you talking about?
yeah, but after that, you guys been garbage. Anyways, moving forward. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Congrats and yeah, man. Amazing season. What are we gonna talk about?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I mean, we're gonna do a whole Serie A recap, of course. Talk about, of course, Napoli winning the Scudetto. How it, what it feels for you, Napolitani, of course. Especially about winning the Scudetto in 3 years, the second time in 3 years. So we're gonna talk about that, of course. We're gonna talk about Inter, UCL bound, of course. And then, of course, we're going to talk about top 4 madness as Juventus qualifies for the UCL. So, and we're going to definitely talk about that. But, yeah, guys, I mean, for Napolitani, I want to hear on your thoughts. And we can start with Dom or Dan, whichever you guys want to start. How does it feel, of course, that you guys won the Campionato this season for, a second time, basically, in 3 years, So how does it feel? And we can start with Dan, Dom, whoever you guys want to go first.
You can go, Dom, man.
How does it feel? I'm sorry, I'm kind of thrown off with the new setup. My mic went to crap, and I'm trying to figure it. I'm looking at. I just opened the link to this episode. So, man, it was an amazing season, man. Very different from the last one. The last time we won the Scudetto, because we wrapped it up in March. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew what was going to happen, but this one went all the way to the last game, man. I haven't seen a Scudetto race like this, and I'm pretty sure the people in this room haven't seen a Scudetto race like this down to the wire in a while, in a long time. So, I mean, what else is there to say, man? It was an amazing season, and we lifted the trophy at the end. Two Scudetti in 3 years. If you would have told me that back 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah.
We were still searching for that third one. So yeah, man, I'm just taking it in, brother. I'm enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Dan, what about you, man?
For me, man, 2023 was like a sigh of relief. and this year is a sign of being proud. 2 out of 3 years for a club like Napoli that's not considered a massive club is a pretty big deal, man. And I hope we don't screw it up with what's going on with the coaching carousel. But I think that ADL still wants to be a winner, so he's going to try to get the best guy out there. I just don't know if it's going to be Allegri. I mean, you know how I feel about the worry about Allegri and shit. I mean, he's got trophies and all that, but he didn't. He wasn't very good at the end of his Juve career, man, and he's been out of the game for a minute. And I'm worried about Allegri, to be honest. I know Dom is okay with this, and I think Napoli fans are much divided more than anything about it. But I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait until I really don't think that we can challenge for another Scudetto right away and make some noise in the Champions League, because that's where Napoli deserves to be, man. Winning 2 out of 3 means that we should challenge for the Scudetto each and every year, and we should make some noise in the Champions League. I'm just praying to God that if Allegri's our guy, he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I hope Allegri goes to your club. You know, I hope he does.
I know you do. I know you do.
I hope, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be laughing my shit off. Hey, but Francesco, what are you laughing about over there? You know, no Europe this season. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I gotta laugh at something, man. You know, I mean, I gotta find some humor in something. You know,
I'm telling you, don't get Dom started. I'm telling you, this guy will go after you. But
I mean,
go ahead,
Francesco. It takes some guts to be on here, bro. That is courage.
Listen, whether we suck or we're good, I'm still going to support my team no matter what.
I like that.
I'm gonna support them no matter what.
That's what it's about, man.
You know, these things happen. With no matter whether it's Napoli, Juve, Milan, Inter. Even though I hate Inter, I'm going to put Inter there.
Oh, hold on now. These things happen, man. No. It's been happening for years with Milan. Y'all are a massive club. This shit's not supposed to last that long, bro. These things don't happen normally.
No, you're right. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. You know?
Conte's coming to Juve, my brother. He's coming to Juve, man.
Yeah, he's going to Juve.
Salute to having all these different fans on the same panel. Legendary stuff. I don't think I ever seen it on YouTube before. Big up to you, man. Big up to you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Let's go, guys. Get the likes up. Smash the likes. Andiamo. Let's go. We do. I started this Tutto Calcio. Let's go, guys. I am doing it for all, of course, for not just the people on the panel, but also people, of course, that are watching the show, because it's one, in my opinion, one of the craziest. So, big up to the Bayern view, my guy Liam. Big up to you, Liam, of course, bro. Big up to you, man.
What up, boys?
Oh yeah, Nino's here.
What's going on, fellas?
You know, I almost had a heart attack, bro. Like what happened?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Nino and his father were scared.
How's everybody doing on this fine evening? You know, long battle. It was I definitely lost a few years of my life this season. I can't lie. But you know, Fino Alfina until the end. That's the motto.
That's right.
That's what we got to do.
Nino, can you admit something, please?
Let's hear it.
Roma deserves the Champions League more than Juve.
I'll tell you this.
Don't try me.
I'll tell you this.
Come on now.
Based on the way that Roma have played, correct. We played like absolute garbage the whole season. But like I said in the group chat, deserving and who gets it, it's two different things. That's just the way Calcio works.
At least you own it, man.
I know.
At least you own it.
I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat how terrible this Juventus backline and team is. But you know they had the passion to get the results. Well,
yeah,
Milan's a whole different category.
Having Nelly Kelly. Yeah, but you know, having Nelly Kelly in the back didn't help at all.
No, but I'm saying, like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were cooked after the first 30 seconds of that game.
That's 30 seconds was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I told my father and Francesco, I was like, yo, put Gatti in with a broken ankle. He'll play better defense than this guy. Like, Vega's hurt. Like, anybody. Put Vlahovic at center back. I don't anybody else.
Yeah, Vlahovic. Oh my gosh.
Dan, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You know, like Roma played better football for the last half. It's kind of funny because it was a swap. You know, like in the beginning, Juventus was playing decent football, and then Motta, I don't know what La La Land he went into, and then Roma kind of got Ranieri and did a full 180 and took off the rest of the season. So,
yeah, man, y'all were undefeated for how long?
Yeah, undefeated with
half the
30
season.
ties.
Yeah, 30 goddamn ties.
Yeah, Thiago. I like
This
that
guy-
one. I like that one.
How's Paulo Fonseca, Francesco, man?
Oh,
How's
man.
Mr. Paulo Fonseca?
Well, we'll get to Milan later. Well, I want to talk about Napoli and the season they had. I want to talk about that.
Ooh, this is
Well,
a
that's where
question for
Milan
Milan.
belongs. So,
I mean, Napoli.
This is a question.
They deserve to be talked about first, and then we'll talk about Milan.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, but look at this question
Shout out
though,
to
from
Melon,
Melon.
man.
Well, you say where did Milan will finish next season? I mean,
Yep,
it depends
early
on the
prediction.
market. Depends on the market. Depends
bro,
on the
how can you make a prediction when the market hasn't even
Yeah,
started?
yeah.
What the
You
heck?
gotta-
Listen,
Like it's not
man.
even next season yet, man. What are you talking
Yeah,
about, this
no,
guy?
no,
Right?
no.
Hey, like,
You
I mean, the dudes are still showering right now. Shit.
You know what I mean? Like,
the guys are about to go on vacation, and
Yeah.
Leao's trying to come up with his next
Come
single,
on, bro.
So
like, and not just that,
How's in
but
the
you know what I'm
studio?
saying? Like I haven't even seen Conte to Juve yet, man. Like, let's see, and I gotta see Allegri to Napoli. That's the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
calm down with
20th.
the predictions already, man.
20th is crazy.
Yeah, more.
Oh my gosh.
It depends on so many factors, like coach, players, But honestly,
Read my
if we're being
comment to the Napoli fans. Where? Oh, to the Napoli fans, De Bruyne is coming to you guys. Yeah, most likely.
they knew that, yeah.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Yeah. I think
Pretty
that's-
much a done deal, I think.
Yeah.
Big up to Juve scouting,
I'm
brother. Big up.
I'm very curious to see how De Bruyne plays under if it is Allegri. How Allegri
know what,
wants
man?
him to play.
If there was one good thing about Conte not being the coach while we got De Bruyne, it's that De Bruyne won't be rammed into the ground.
This is fair. But the players need that, though, because look at all Juventus' players today. They were huffing and puffing on the last 5 minutes of the game, cramping and all that. Like,
yeah,
there's a level to training that a certain caliber coach brings, and Conte definitely brings that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think it might be a little bit much, depending on like the player's actual real fitness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Them players want to push himself to the brink for that dude, which is always a good thing until it really seems like the injuries are a problem, because we had so many injuries during training. They weren't getting injured in the matches too much. They were getting injured while they were practicing. You know what I mean? So
it's crazy and wait till you have 2 extra games a week, how many more injuries you're going to pick up, especially with that intense training. You know what I mean? So like they got to cut down these games, because every team looks like they're injury ridden. You know what I mean? Like there's too many games that they're playing all the time, and then you got the Club World Cup and everything like that.
Yeah.
Did you all seem to have injury problems that maybe Conte's philosophy and training and getting you to the brink was causing y'all when he was there before?
I don't think so. I never thought so. I mean, honestly, back then it was a lot of young players, and J Medical looked completely different. I think honestly our
different staff.
Our
Different
fault
staff,
is the medical staff that we have, because we've never seen anything like this before. Even with Conte, with Allegri, with all these competitions, we've never seen that. So something's going wrong in there. But no, I don't necessarily think Conte's intensity in practice was a cause of injury.
Prediction. What are you doing?
I'm loving this.
Juve Stallion.
Yes, Juve Stallion. I'm loving
Yo,
it.
why
man.
is Inter on that list?
Yeah, Inter should be, actually Napoli should be ahead of Inter, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Screw Inter.
It's crazy. We're making predictions already.
Roma 6th. I know, it's crazy, right? Look,
Almost
man, there's why is there so much
Listen.
Inter hate? I'm so surprised. Like what is happening, guys?
Listen, I think if there's one thing you can predict about next season is that Como is going to be one of the sleeper teams to be sneaky to the top.
Como Loki's. Yeah.
If there's an underrated
Sneaky.
team, it's
Wait a minute,
Como.
sneaky to where?
To get up into Europe.
Como is going to get up to into Europe.
So you're saying maybe push for 6th place?
Yeah, no, not.
I can see that.
I could see them like 6.
I can see them pushing for 6.
Yeah.
And if we get the 5th spot next year, they could push for, like, what do you get, a Conference League spot at 8 at that point?
Yeah,
Or 7?
If they keep Fabregas, they keep trying to keep the players they have.
No, they're building something there. I can't lie.
Yeah, Dom, my guy Liam in the chat says that Napoli logo in the back is dope.
Thank you, my guy. I love that sign.
Yeah, I just inquired.
This guy.
I just inquired.
Because of Judge Mo. Yeah, that Inter fan. Yeah. Forget about it. I saw him cry in that rant when he lost his Scudetto. It was the most funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god, the way the players were walking on the field at Como, looking all distraught. Oh man, that was like the best.
Thank goodness for this guy, man. Thank goodness for this guy. I'm telling you, thank goodness for that guy. You know what I'm saying? Thank goodness, man, because otherwise I would have been probably in those teams too.
On a note,
man, did Agnelli make a phone call or something, man? Is that what happened?
This guy, bro, Agnelli's not even at the club at the moment, man. What are you talking about?
We asked Marotta for one last favor. What happened?
Yeah. This guy. Juventus and Napoli got
always
the best
something,
logos.
bro. Always something.
No, it's just crazy. It's just crazy what Napoli have been able to do this year and the way they won the Scudetto. I mean, as soon as Conte comes in, I mean, everyone was still picking Inter, and then of course there was a few that were picking Napoli because of Conte. I mean, because listen, and Nino and I were watching the IFTV episode today, and the Napoli fan Ludo, he said it perfectly. Like what Conte basically did this season was he took fish and then he fried it in water.
And he made fried fish.
That is the most. I agree. That's the most perfect way to put it.
Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy laughing in the comments. Reno, you should be on here, buddy. Bro? What are you doing?
Yo, Reno, get on
your phone, man.
This guy, man.
That guy's scared, man. He's scared, bro. He don't want this heat, bro. Don't want this heat.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's crazy. Just even with the Cavada.
You standing in a line at the tobacco store getting cigarettes.
Listen, man. A lot of things happen this season. So many variables, man. It wasn't only like Conte working magic, but Inter dropped the ball one too many times, man. Like,
oh yeah.
When I saw that Inzaghi finally decided to play his B squad to handle like mid-table teams, he waited all the way till the end, so he saw that there was a UCL final to worry about. He handles Torino, right? He beats Como. Well, Como that wasn't their B squad, but you know what I'm trying to get at. He didn't do that throughout the season, so these guys were gassed. So you had that plus Conte going through, because Inter went through injuries too as well. Like they have depth, but they had a lot of injuries. Yeah. And then you go to Conte that hasn't played the starting 11 since December. Like our strongest starting 11, the last time every single player on that starting 11 was on the field was in December, bro. Like if Buongiorno wasn't down, we had Juan Jesus down, Neres down. There's so many injuries. I've never seen so many injuries since I've been a Napoli fan for my team this year, man. That's why just a lot of things happened, bro. And we still won the league by 1 point.
And you still
by 1 point.
That's what makes it crazy. It's just despite all these obstacles, the team still pulled it off. But it's just they played as a group. They played as a group. They knew what they were fighting for, and they knew who they were fighting for. And what I really like the most is, especially now that we're talking about Napoli with De Laurentiis, when they just came off of winning the Scudetto in 2023. They go into the summer, Spalletti, the whole situation between Spalletti and De Laurentiis, whatever happened. We don't know the full story, even though there's rumors of different stories and different outcomes. I just like the fact that even though he admitted that he made the wrong choice bringing in Rudy Garcia and admitted about bringing in Walter Mazzarri. And I love the fact that he was just like, yo, I'll admit I screwed up. I'm going to do what I can to fix this. And then he was able to finally get Conte, and Conte was able to bring in Scott McTominay and then Lukaku. And obviously, people were judging the Lukaku transfer. I'm like, listen, if Conte wants a player, there's a specific reason why he wants this player. You know what I mean? He doesn't just want to pick him just because he wants to pick him. So that's what I feel makes this championship, special, and especially in the Napoli, from a Napoli perspective.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like I texted that to Dan. I said, I gotta admit, ADL's learned from his mistakes. Like he's realized that he's got to do it at this specific level to make sure he keeps Napoli a top team. And I think that Conte's the cohesiveness that he brought to the team is what really won them the Scudetto more so than, obviously Inter had a rough season at the end or however you want to spin it. But Conte bringing the team together to a point where you could see the fire in their eyes for the end at the end of that season. Like Napoli was playing in mid-season Napoli. Man. I was watching some of the games, and in the second half they were like throwing games away, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, this is crazy. But then you see the Conte effect where he just he reignites the players to finish the job. And that's what they did.
Yeah, and something else about this season, man, that I think makes a lot of Napoli fans proud is the competition throughout the league. Like at any given time, a relegation team can beat a top 4 team. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. I mean, Lecce beat Lazio.
That was crazy.
In their home, and they were trying to get a European spot. You know what I mean? So that means something, knowing that your competition is there and they're always going to make it difficult for you, and you're still able to be at the top of the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, not even for Napoli. I mean, for Napoli, Inter, Atalanta, I mean, those 3 teams at some point in the season, people were saying that they had a chance to win the Scudetto, I mean, even Atalanta at one point, man, they looked really strong.
Yeah, they were scary.
But one quick thing. Atalanta always falls off at the end of the season. I don't know why. It happens every season. Like they're always projected, top 1, 2, but then at the end of the season something happens. I'm not sure what.
Wait a minute, hold on, dude. Who's ever projected Atalanta top 2?
Atalanta's been always been like, oh, they have a chance, like they have a real chance, and then they
people will talk about it, but I don't think anybody's predicted them to be in top 2.
Yeah, they would always predict them to be just qualifying for Champions League. That's about it.
I think so, man. I mean, I think that this season maybe they were like a dark horse for a few people. You know what I mean? That's reasonable.
They were close, Everybody was close.
They looked strong. I'm telling you, there was a point when I was scared of them dudes, man. They were playing their asses off.
The Teggy season, scoring those goals all the time, scoring goals.
Francia, Liam from the Bayern View, one of our friends, wants to know how you think Leao would fit at Bayern.
Yo, Francesco, what's Rafael Leao? What do you work for Bayern? Well, from what I see, there's 2 teams that want Leao. You got Arsenal, that what I've heard, and then there's also Bayern Munich. I feel like Bayern would be the more realistic team to go after him because you got Serge Gnabry, who's Asian, and you have Leroy Sané, who's also in a similar situation where he's Asian. So they're looking for some fresh legs. Leao's only 25. So, I mean, I feel like Leao would – I mean, it depends. I mean, Leao would fit – I feel like he would fit perfectly. I don't watch too much German league to determine if he would fit perfectly or not. But I feel like if a team like Bayern wants a player like Leao and they're looking for a new young left winger, I don't see why he wouldn't fit.
This is my.
It all depends on his motivation, though, because sometimes this guy, my thoughts on this player, man. He plays good. He plays good. If he doesn't play good in this game, it's okay.
I mentioned it to Liam in one of his videos. I was like, Leao's a player that if you don't light a fire under his, he's gonna play 25% of the time and then walk the other 75%. You know what I mean? So if there's a motive for him at Bayern, if there's somebody there telling him like, yo, you better start playing, like you better start doing something,
Listen,
or else you're going on the bench. You know what I mean? Like he got comfortable.
Not to go too into Milan yet, because I still want to obviously talk about the Inter side, but I've given Leao too. Oh, you guys know I can't wait to talk about Inter. But basically,
Hold on,
you know,
we
with
gotta get the red
Leao,
free sign
I've given him way too many chances, man. It's getting to a point where it's like enough's enough. You know, he's got to go. You got to cash in. I'm sorry, he's got to go.
That's sad, man. God, that player's so talented.
He has so much talent. He's throwing it away.
It's fucking crazy.
You know.
I mean, can you blame him, man?
No, you actually that exactly. No, you can't, because and same thing with Reinders, right? And Pulisic. How can you blame them from holding off contract negotiations or walking away when you don't even know what direction this club is going in?
Not only that, man, but you know, when players go through what they went through this year with Milan, I mean, just ask the Napoli players, man. Like it's not easy, man. You know, it's not easy. I don't blame him for wanting to leave. I don't blame him for wiping Milan off of his IG. I found that actually pretty funny.
That's
just for that, I'm a Leao fan now. I love the guy.
Mignon did it too.
Look, so we have a question here.
Mignon did it too.
So Leao really leaving Milan? I think it's written on the wall, man.
Yeah,
I think he's gone.
Unless there's a coach that comes in similar to what
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's done.
Listen,
how much money are you gonna get for him?
You know, he had Maldini, he had Ibrahimovic, he had Pioli.
These are not. Maldini's not a coach. Ibra's not a coach.
Well, I understand Maldini's not a coach, but he was a sporting director at one point.
Pioli's the only coach under that Leao really thrived under, in my opinion. But I'm saying, like, unless they're Leao might be a lost cause, but other players, you know what I mean? Like,
so which coach would you get?
What other players? What are you talking about? What other players?
I'm saying, like, Teo, if somebody comes in, like, look at what Conte did at Napoli.
There's nobody available, fam.
Yeah, there's nobody available. That's what I'm trying to say. Because look
trying to salvage.
Look around. Conte,
bring Gattuso back.
Conte's going.
Listen, he'll probably injure the players himself. He'll fucking beat them up.
Listen, brother. Listen, this is what's gonna happen next season. This is my prediction. You guys are gonna sell some of your top players.
Oh, it's gonna happen 100%.
You guys don't have no Europe, so for you guys to pull high-profile players is gonna be very hard.
Yeah.
Depending on who your coach is, it's gonna probably be a Sarri. Or I mean, I don't think Italiano's leaving, so it's most likely going to be someone like Sarri that's going to come in.
They already said no. They said no.
Because look,
Tade and Sarri, they didn't work very well together.
So then, what's the rumors for coaches that Milan are looking for? I mean, they have to be looking for somebody.
There's
Stefano Pioli.
Allegri's one of them.
Bro,
Stefano Pioli.
Allegri is one.
Yeah, but Allegri.
Ibra.
I think he's going to Napoli, man. Allegri to Napoli.
Listen,
bro.
there's 3.
Yeah, but Allegri has to be one they're looking at, bro.
It is.
Yeah, it is. There is. Oh yeah, definitely. But I just think because, you know.
Yo.
We'll talk about Milan later. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk about P-line. You know what I'm saying?
No. Screw that, bro. I haven't even finished my tape, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, dude. Listen. So you guys don't even know who your coach is. It's probably most definitely not going to be a high-profile coach, right? So you guys are basically in rebuild mode.
Oh, absolutely.
So you guys ain't going to be chasing anything but keeping your hopes up for top 4.
So from what I've heard, the one coach that I would be interested the most because I've heard rumors about this.
This was a
good
one.
De Zerbi. Yeah. De Zerbi from Marseille.
Why would he go to Milan?
Didn't he just extend?
He wants the job. He said he wants the job.
I mean,
so hold on. People in the chat throw in some names there if you think are realistic options for Milan to get a coach.
Yeah.
This is one.
Throw in
This is
some
one.
names there. Let's see if anybody.
I heard today that it's not like they haven't reached out yet, but Mancini is also available. So out of all the coaches, you know, like as much as you don't. Oh, nah, Liam.
Liam said Ten Hag. Yeah, he's trolling. He said Ten Hag.
Yeah. Yo, I'd rather take freaking Allegri than Ten Hag.
No, guys.
Nah, Italiano. Let's see.
Man, Italiano staying with Bologna, bro.
Yeah, I think
between Mancini and Thiago Motta. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh! Big up to AK for the super chat, bro. Big up to AK. See you in the Club World Cup, Gio. Yeah, well, don't worry, because I might be going to the we'll see, to the Juve Man City game. So I'll be seeing you. Don't worry, AK. I'll be seeing you there. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
don't worry.
So here's the thing. If that's the case, if we're gonna stick to Milan, then all right, I'll get into this. So I agree. I mean, we might as well. So I agree with what Dom just said. The team is in rebuild mode. There's no denying it. Okay. The moment the season was going to be considered a failure, you had a chance to bring in Conte. And Ibra, the freaking Stunato that he is, comes out to the public and says, oh, we need a coach, not a manager. Well, that manager just won a team that was in 10th place, a Scudetto. So now how stupid do you really look? So then they decide to go with Paulo Fonseca, despite the fact that they were interested in De Zerbi and they were interested in Sergio Conceição from the start of the year in the summer. Why they went for Fonseca? Because obviously he's a yes man. So they just want a guy that's just going to say yes to the management, and they're not going to go and argue against them like how Maldini did, which caused Maldini to get fired. So you bring in Paulo Fonseca. Then we get to the Mercato. You bring in Fofana, who that was one guy I was interested in because I saw what he did at Monaco. I felt like, okay, he could be a decent added piece to the midfield. You bring in Emerson Royale, and I'm like, okay. What are we doing here? So you bring in Emerson Royale. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this guy has achieved, but
the best signing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the GOAT.
So I got a question. I got a quick question for you. I'll let you continue, fam. Okay. While you were going through all this misery, did you take pictures of all these trophies you always talk about and hug them and cope? Did it help you? This trophy count you always talk about. Oh,
so brother. You mean like how you guys were coping Maradona before your Scudetto win in 2023 and up to this point?
Oh well, I don't know about Dom and
we were going.
I'll let Dan get you on that one because I'm not going to waste my time. My question is, did you hug those? Did those trophies help you cope throughout these times? Because you always talk about them, so I'm guessing they're like your closest loved one, like your girlfriend, because you're always talking about them. Oh. So like, did it help you, bro? It didn't, right? Because you haven't won anything lately. So when you win something lately, then it will help. But continue, brother.
Okay, and then when you win a Champions League, then you could talk. But anyway,
you see what I'm talking about? It's almost been 20 years, bro. Get over it, bro. Check this out.
Hey, like Dan said,
you know what?
Champions League is
you know what? Let's open up. You know,
I got to this show win too.
This show has been very professional since the beginning, so we got to get some banter in here, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, bro. You know what?
Banter mode.
Listen, you know what, bro? Listen, you know what? I remember when Milan fans used to chirp to Real Madrid fans about CL, right? That was the conversation. You guys would go back and forth, like in the early 2000s.
Okay.
You guys go back. Now what you guys do? You guys talking to Napoli fans. You're reminiscing about trophies that you don't talk to Real Madrid fans no more. Why is that? Because they forgot about you. Everybody forgot about you in the CL, bro. That's all I'm going to say. You can't even win a Scudetto. And when was the last time you won a Coppa Italia? Oh, my God. It's been, what, 1990s? Nah, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, man.
And then you guys still live rent-free in Juventus fans' heads. Because,
Why are you talking about Juventus? Why are you talking about Juventus? You're a Milan fan.
You guys still live
Why are you bringing up Juve, bro?
You're a Milan fan. Why
see?
are you trying to look help from these guys? These guys ain't gonna help you. These guys are not gonna help you, bro.
I don't want their help. I don't want.
So then why are you bringing up Juventus for,
I'm just
bro?
stating the facts, bro. I'm just stating the fact. You guys. You know
what, my guy?
No matter what the topic is, you guys always bring up Juventus.
You know what, my guy? This is why when Juventus play Milan, they don't even call it a freaking derby because your fans are too busy making out, bro.
Oh, this guy now. I'm on nudge. This guy.
Both of you guys
were jerking off Maradona.
Both of you guys hate Inter.
You guys were calling yourself an amazing team.
That Maradona shit is the fucking cop out for every fan. They always want to bring up Maradona for some fucking reason. Because Maradona played like 30 fucking years ago, man. Stop talking about Maradona.
I mean,
we don't want to hear about Maradona. It's not about Maradona anymore, man.
Yeah,
that time is
okay,
30 years ago, bro.
You guys want to come after Milan. You guys want to come after Milan. You should be thanking Milan because Milan always
get the hell out of here with thanking. Get the hell out of here with thanking. The only thing I'm going to thank you for, is coming on this show. Thank you very much for getting roasted, all right?
Let me say my piece. When you guys were in Serie C,
I got something for you. You know what Milan's really, really good at, bro?
What?
They are really, really good at kits. Your kits are beautiful.
And you know you guys
had the kit Scudetto for 15 years.
Nah, I'm sorry, but Roma have the best kits, bro. I'm sorry, Roma have the best.
So you guys should be, let me finish what I was saying. You guys should be thanking Milan because in 2004,
I don't gotta thank you for nothing, buddy.
I listened to you. I listened to you, and I didn't listen to me. Now you're gonna listen to me. You should be thanking Milan.
Thank you, bro.
In 2004, when you guys were in Serie C in debt. De Laurentiis was too busy calling Galliani for soccer balls and for money back in 2004.
Yeah, I won't forget about Abate too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and calling Abate too, bro. So who are you guys? If it wasn't for Galliani and Abate, you guys would still be in Serie C and that. Get the fuck.
You should thank the league. You should thank the league that during Calcio Poli. You should thank the league that during Calcio Poli. They only win at Juventus. They only win at Juventus and Calcio Poli. Because you guys were involved in Calcio Poli, bro. Don't think you guys were involved in Calcio Poli. Juventus took the hit, but you guys were in there too.
When you get past Robercelli and City,
oh man.
Look at this Torino. Look at this Torino.
Robercelli has more freaking trophies than you guys. Get the fuck out of here.
You're joking me, man.
Torino has more freaking trophies.
Look at this guy. He continues talking about trophies, bro. Listen, bro. Win a trophy, bro.
We have, bro. We have.
Look at this, Dom. Look at this. Kevin Owen Silencio from Reno, guys. This is I don't know. I think he meant.
Guys, we were going so well.
We're going so well. You're going so well.
Bro.
I'm not a fucking wrestling fan. Come up with some other shit.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. The show is getting real boring. Everyone's being too. Look, I got my guy chugging. I got my guy chugging on a gallon of water. He's so pressed. Keep chugging on that gallon of water, bro.
Oh, look at this. Paco Lazio says,
Pedro, that's right. Thanks to Pedro, you guys wouldn't even win a Scudetto if it wasn't for Pedro.
Thanks to Milan. I don't give a F about any of that, bro. Listen, Scudetto champ, bro.
These are the same fans that say don't bring up history. Don't bring up history. These are the same fans. Not the fans are the same fans that say don't bring up history, but yet they would always bring up history about things that happened in the past. Oh, Calciopoli, this, all that. But then they say that we're not allowed to bring up history with our trophies. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Rent free, bro. You Napolitano are noise pollution. You're noise pollution.
Rent free.
That shit started a trend and Juve continued it, bro. Calciopoli needs to be talked
Oh
about.
no, but that was in the past. That was in the past. We gotta start.
We gotta start talking about the present. We gotta know about the present.
Exactly. The cheating
See how
continues.
ridiculous you guys sound. Stati zitto, per favore. Stati zitto. Come talk to me when you get one of these.
Hey, but can we agree on something? You know, the coach for Napoli, you know what I'm saying, has to be Bianconero.
Yeah, you need a Juventino. You guys are anti-Juve, and you need a Juventino to freaking do your dirty work for you.
Guess what, buddy? Guess what, buddy? Your dumb club passed off on him. Guess what now? Where you going? 7 plus, so shut the hell up, bro. Shut the hell up, bro. Where you going? No European for you, bro. No Europe for you, bro. Keep chugging on that gallon of water, bro. Keep chugging on that gallon of water. Yeah, I won't keep chugging.
Your boy's about to leave. I want to see what Allegri's going to do. He's going to bring you guys back to 10th place where you belong.
Come on, we'll be right next to you. We'll be right next to you then, buddy. How does that sound?
Really? Okay, we'll see about that. And then when Milan finishes above you, I want to see what the hell you're going to say next year.
Hey, nobody want to go to your bum club next year, bro. You guys are not even in Europe.
Everyone wants to go to your bum club.
Yeah, we're about to get KDP, baby.
We're about to get Allegri. You're about to get Allegri, my guy. Allegri. You're gonna get the moose.
You're gonna get.
I got a serious question though, man.
Hold on, give me a second. Allegri, right? You counting on Allegri? He's won more Scudetti than you've seen your club win since you've been born. How's that sound? Get the fuck out of here,
he's won more Scudetti than Napoli's entire existence.
Exactly.
And you're proud of that?
Thank you. What else you want to say? Why did your club pick him up?
Because he plays boring football,
Because they can't. Nobody wants to go to
He went to a team that was already winning.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Fuck out of here, bro.
You guys couldn't even pull Conte, bro. Big club Milan can't even pull Conte. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Conte was about to join, and then Ibra screwed it all up.
I don't care. That doesn't mean anything. It
doesn't mean anything.
You could about almost take a girl out. But that doesn't mean you took her out, bro. I'm just saying it's not the same thing, bro. It's not the same thing.
I really want to know. What the hell was Ibra thinking when he said that shit and didn't want Conte to come?
He wasn't thinking at all. Ibra, he has no right to decide who should be the next man. First of all, Ibra shouldn't even be in that fucking position.
Forza Ibra, bro. Forza
Ibra. At least when my team sucks, I admit it. You Napolitano are like,
at least
you like
the bro. Hey, bro, when you start a sentence, with at least, when you start a sentence with at least, that means you already lost, bro. Don't start a sentence with at least.
By you?
Conte.
You needed a Juventino to win, bro. You needed a Juventino to win.
And we won, baby!
You're proud of that.
What you guys win? What you guys win this year? What you guys win this year?
I thought you were anti-Juve.
What you guys win this year? What you guys win this year? A back seat to 7th place.
Conte's an exception.
Conte is that guy.
Super Copa.
Yeah, that's the same trophy. That's the same trophies that you were bragging about. That's the same trophies you were bragging about when you guys won them. What do you?
I never bragged about a Super Copa.
Oh bullshit! Yeah, you guys did. Bullshit. Yeah, you freaking guys did. You Napolitano get excited over a Copa.
Hold on. I expect. Let's talk about Giovanni Manna for a second. You know, they got that nice
beating that shit team you
Ultra, you know what I'm saying? Tattoo. You know, we should talk about Giovanni Manna. You know what I'm saying? We should talk about him too. You know, another Juventino in Napoli's skies over there. You know, a mercenary.
my boy chugging on that gallon of water. He's thirsty, bro.
I'm entering my.
Sorry, guys in the chat. It's been getting crazy in here. Unbelievable.
Forza PSG is right.
Oh, look at this. Look at this from Reno, bro.
Forza
Enjoy
PSG.
this Scudetto. Goditi adesso
poi
non godi brutto napoletano.
I got one quick question, man. I got one quick question about Conte and Juve. Okay. How long is it going to take for Conte to start some shit when Juve's not winning every game like they should be?
Probably a year.
Probably.
Listen.
That's what you guys were doing at the beginning of the season when you lost the first game. Remember that? And then all of a sudden, everything everything started to click, right?
On a real note,
what I'm asking is if Juve is actually not getting the points that they're supposed to and they're dropping points, how long is it going to take for Conte to flip his shit?
I hope he does. That's
I mean,
what
I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean,
It took him a minute for him to flip his shit with us.
That's what the team needs, though.
No, I mean
that's
the
why
team needs to flip. You know what I'm saying?
That's why Juventus are really keen on a comeback, is because this team has no sense of urgency.
Nothing.
They play like they're going on vacation next week, every week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Did you see Cambiaso, Nino? What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What? Dom, you were watching the game. You saw the guy jogging back like a little ballerina.
I
You know?
understand.
all that.
What I'm saying, bro, Juve, he's Juventino. It's Juve. Oh, the amazing club Juve, 9 Scudetti in a row. You know,
Yeah,
when
guy,
fucking
you know what I'm
Juve's dropping points, when Juve is dropping points, how long is it going to take Conte to flip his shit? He didn't flip on us right away because we were 10th place last year. You guys got into the fucking Champions League. So just let me know, how long is it going to take before he flipped his shit?
Lord knows.
Listen, man. So realistically, okay, throw me some facts here, okay, guys?
Yeah.
The Juventini here in the room, all right?
Yeah.
That includes you too, Francesco. Anyways,
Okay.
how many?
You might as well consider you Juventini because you had a Juventini coach. You might as well consider you.
Hey, so listen, how much money do you guys got to spend in the transfer market? Well, now that you qualified for the Champions League without selling any players. Without selling any players. Yeah.
Without? Good question. It depends on how much Elkin wants to pump in.
But I mean, you're so
how much money you got coming in?
As much.
You guys is
we got 60 from Champions. We got 20 from Fagioli.
How do you get 60 from Champions? It's 20 to get. It's 20 to get in.
60
for all clubs. No, it's 20 to qualify for all clubs. Look it up. I looked it up yesterday. It's 20. It actually went up. It was a little bit lower. That's to get the CL spot. Then as you advance, like as you win games, right? You accumulate money. We all know that. So you're getting 20 secure. 20 secure money.
Yeah.
It's like 18.6 something. 18.6
with no sales.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, it depends because we have Club World Cup. We're gonna make revenue off that. We're gonna make revenue off a bunch of.
How much is the revenue from Club World Cup just to be there?
We get 20 million just to go.
Okay, so
the more you win, the more you make.
So question here. So the transfer market, right? There's going to be a small window. We all know it's going to open from June 1st to June 10th, right? So what moves you guys think you're going to make? Because according to sources, Conte, if it's true, right? And Conte goes over there, he said that he wants $200 million invested in the transfer market with Juventus. Now,
did he say
we
that
all know
you?
that's according to these Juventus sources. You know, some of these guys are not reliable, like Mountain Bike Guy. But this is you know, this is what's been going around, right? So obviously, you guys don't have $200 million to spend. We all could agree on that, right?
I think we would have close, depending on our sales, but not off the bat. Obviously.
Okay,
well,
depending on
Yildiz?
We're not selling Yildiz, no.
No.
We don't have to anymore.
Well, because we qualify for
who the hell
UCL.
are you going to sell to get up there, man?
Vlahovic,
Cambiaso, Savona,
depends.
most likely.
Savona. I hope not. I like.
Now,
Savona,
how much do you think you're going to get?
Nah, that guy got to go too. The way that he was running, I didn't like it. He's got to go too. He's got to go too. That guy.
And I was trying to get to the point where, like, I think Conte is already going to be disappointed after the summer transfer market. You know, because Conte's mind doesn't work like our mind, right? Yeah. We could be like, well, man, we spent 140 million on this guy, and he could still not be happy, because that's what happened with us in the summer. We spent 150. The guy's complaining about how we didn't get a Gavara replacement. Okay, fine, whatever. But I see that he's going to be disappointed. Most likely would be disappointed right after the transfer window, and now he has to compete in 2 competitions.
Correct.
No longer competing with 1. So you have to give this 3. You have to give this guy depth. You have to give him solid
100%.
players on the team, and you have to give him depth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when Conte starts having this crash outs in the Champions League, right? Because he's not making it far in the Champions League. I'm sorry. And you guys might win the league. So he's gonna get mad about that. You already know how Conte is. He gets mad about any little thing that doesn't go his way. So
that's the thing, yeah.
How long do you think Conte realistically will stay with Juventus? And let's say they don't win a trophy next year. You think he stays?
I think he would stay if, like I said, if we could give the players that he's asking, which I think he will, because in the contract that's supposed to be going to be offered, it's going to be a 3-year contract, right? But we all know how contracts are with Conte, right? We've been saying this, right? But there's supposedly that he's going to have a lot of power, authority in the time that he's going to be at Juve. So in terms of making the transfers,
what does that really mean? What does that really mean?
Well, like I said, he wants control. That's the biggest thing. He wants. That's why Ibra didn't want him at Milan in the first place, because he doesn't want. Like I said, Conte wants control, right? If he could have control, at least to build and to rebuild a team like Juve, for example, that's been shit for a couple of seasons. Yeah, I would say that he would stay if he's given enough authority.
Listen,
and of course, the budget, the players, right? That has to also come included. You know what I mean?
But
we don't need to worry about our facilities. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about
it. I mean, you can take shots. You can take shots at us. It's okay. I really don't mind. But I'm trying to have a serious conversation now with what you guys realistically expect from him. His attitude, it's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
This guy can't compete in multiple competitions and win multiple competitions. And if you think Inter are going anywhere next year, I got something to tell you about that, buddy, because they're going to be around. So all these things don't guarantee you a title for the Italian title next year.
Nothing's ever. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going. I'm sorry.
That's what I was just trying to say. I was trying to get at that with you. And when Conte doesn't win, because he feels like the club isn't giving him enough.
He leaves.
I don't care how much he loves the club. I don't care how much he loves the club. He's gonna go. And you're trying to bring back your old owner back. Hopefully they did make peace. But you already know how that is. When two men make peace, they don't forget the past, especially someone like Conte. So it remains to be seen.
It's the person that you're speaking of, like Agnelli's not the owner. He was the president.
The president, yeah.
But I agree. I completely agree. You never know who's going to win the league. So Conte coming back doesn't guarantee anything. You can't guarantee. If you would have told me Napoli was winning the league this year, I would have laughed. But that happened. You know what I mean? That's you can't deny that. Before Conte, obviously, but Conte is going to come in. He's going to dictate what's in his contract. He's not going to sign it. He's not dumb. He's not going to sign a contract like Allegri had with Giuntoli. Like Giuntoli was forcing Allegri out of the club. He wasn't buying him players. Like that's something that's a whole nother thing between those two. He's going to come in, but he's what we need. Like I said in the last live, Juventus is nowhere near in the realm to be competing for a Champions League right now, at all. Absolutely not. We need domestic success again. Like I said, you need to find domestic success.
My question from before. So my question from before is, let's just say we're, 6 or 7 matches into the season. If you guys are outside of the top 4, is Conte gonna lose his shit? And what will happen? Because this is Juve. This isn't Napoli that was coming from 10th place or anything. This is Juve. This is the big club. This is the one that won 9 in a row. I mean, aren't you a little bit nervous about that beginning stretch of the season? And if Juve isn't getting all the points they're supposed to get, you ain't worried about that?
But then if you think about it,
Go ahead,
sorry to cut you off.
No.
If you think about it, then we have a whole mercato as well to plan for. I mean, it's also going to be who are we going to get for the players, as well. Because if you think about it, we all know Conte, man. He's going to be asking for a lot, of players. He's going to want this guy. He's going to want that. I hope it's not going to be Lukaku, man, because then I'm going to have a fit. But, supposedly it's Jonathan David or Osimhen, right? Those are the guys that are linked.
You know that Conte kind of ruined Inter financially by the signings that he requested of basically players that had there was no upside to them. You couldn't sell them afterwards for anything more. So and that's a reason why I'm glad Conte is gone. I mean, those are one of the few reasons, because if he would have started with that nonsense, bring in this 35-year-old or whatever, that would have started to worry me, because Conte is temporary. The financial issues of the club is permanent until you obviously get rid of it. So if you ask Inter fans, I've talked to Inter fans and they told me, yo, Dom, I'm going to be real with you. Conte just won you a Scudetto. It's best that he leaves now. And I'm like, why? He's like, because of these signings that he be wanting for the club. You got to watch out with some of his signings. I mean, look, a Lukaku, thank God it worked out. But we have a Lukaku that's making $6 million now. How old is Lukaku?
It's like 31.
30 something, yeah.
And thank God we get, I don't know, someone told me, I don't know if this is true. Maybe you know, Dan, or maybe other people in this room know. But someone told me if we sell Lukaku, Chelsea get like 30% or something.
Yeah.
So that tells you right there that we're not gonna make no money on this guy. So if Conte would have stuck around and it would have been another season, another transfer market, and then a second and a third one, it probably would have worked against us. Now, are you guys nervous about that, since you guys are giving full control, according to rumors? You're giving full control.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that.
He's 32.
Lukaku?
Yeah, he's 32.
But Lukaku, like, when you look at Lukaku, right? Lukaku was never a player you're going to sign and say, I'm going to make money on my investment here. Lukaku's a player you're signing and you're going to be like, I need him to perform ASAP so that we can win. You know what I mean? Like, there's a different kind of, like, Kvara, somebody you bought, you knew you were going to make money on him. You knew he was going to, maybe not new, but like he came in and did what he had to do and you made money. He's young. Lukaku, you're buying him. KDB, you're buying him you're not going to make money on KDB. You're buying him at 33 and he's going to stay until the end of his career probably. You know what I mean? So
and then the other players that we're rumored to get besides him, the other players that I've seen so far, none of them are in the the 30 and 30 plus range.
Which is
they're
good.
all younger than that, so I don't know. I feel you, Dom. I feel you, Dom, but I think, man, I really believe that we could have done one more year with him to see what he could do with one more transfer market and then let him part his ways. Just 1 year.
I mean,
1 year for me just seems.
I mean, Dan,
it seems like a fucking cop out, is what it seems.
Yeah, I know, Dan, but you know what? I don't want to talk about a guy that said goodbye today. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been, should have been, would have been, but he's leaving now, and Conte isn't. No one's perfect, right? No one's the perfect manager, the perfect coach. And Conte has, and I'm not talking about like one Lukaku getting signed. I'm talking about like, yo, bro, Inter brought in some freaking players that once Conte left, bro, they couldn't do nothing with these players, man. And that's why that's part of the reason why they were hurt financially for a couple of seasons, man. And now it's Juventus's problem. It's not our problem. It's their problem now. And I just wanted to know, you guys just now are balancing the books. Like, are you worried giving this guy control that he's not going to bring in some stupid signings, bro? I mean,
I'm like, I get it. It does raise concern 100%. But Juventus has been in that Inter situation a few years ago. We were just there. Allegri put us in that situation when he re-signed Alexandro. He re-signed all those players for 10 million a season, and they're all 35. You know what I mean? So
I don't think Allegri was signed. I think your sporting director.
Whoever the hell was.
You can't blame that. You can't blame that on Allegri. You got to blame it on your sporting director.
But if you think about it, Allegri was the guy that wanted him to stay during that time.
Allegri has a voice in it. He's like, I need this player. I need this player. Give him what he wants, and then the guy's giving him 10 million. So I'm not saying it's Allegri's fault completely. Obviously, no, but you got to look at it in a way that for Juventus specifically, right? We've been in that situation, and there's new rules that have been put in the upper management of Juventus. That's like we're not giving any. Oh, that's why Juventus is so young, because they're not signing older players for astronomical amounts of money anymore to try to like level off the salaries. Dusan Vlahovic is making $12 million a year.
Yep.
Oh, that's fucking
Chill,
crazy.
man.
Which is
$12
crazy.
million a year, and that's because of what happened. That's because Allegri was like, "Give me this guy right now. I need him.
Yep.
I need him for everything." So
Yeah, he was obsessed with him.
So
Like,
we
he
paid
wanted
we,
him
we
bad.
paid
Yep.
$80 million to Fiorentina plus $12 million a year salary. These are the kind of things that I'm seeing that Juventus has done, and I think that they are understanding their financial mistake, because
Yeah.
you just bought Ronaldo for $100 million. You're buying Vlahovic for $80 million. You're buying now Cope Miners for $60 million. You're buying Douglas, like,
Kid
these are,
Higuain wasn't special for you guys.
well, he has
Nah.
Yeah, but
He's
it didn't hurt them.
Yeah, well, he's
It
got a
didn't
place
hurt
in
them
our heart.
it didn't hurt them financially though. Like
But,
these
like, so
signings afterwards hurt them financially.
that's what
Higuain didn't hurt them.
Well, I mean, if you
That's
think
what I'm
about it,
saying.
with Ronaldo's wages and in the same type of scenario, COVID came around as well, hurt the club financially too. You know what I mean? Because
but
Ronaldo literally broke your club's back.
yeah,
That's,
no, that's
Because
what I'm
that's
saying.
aside the point. That's aside
Yeah.
the point. That's kind of like a whole different, like,
Yeah.
obviously that's something to be discussed. But when we're talking about contracts and if Conte is kind of scary, no, because they're
I
gonna
gotta go.
tell. Oh, you
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go,
Yeah.
guys. Yo,
All right, big
great
up to Dom,
talk.
bro.
Peace out, brother.
I
Peace
love
out,
you
Dom.
all,
Big up.
and I especially love my Milan fan in the room.
Yo, Dom,
Oh, man.
Dom, it's all out of love, man. It's all out of love. You know that.
Take care, guys.
Take care,
Peace out,
Dom.
bro.
See you in the next one, brother. But yeah, man.
It's like they've been through this before, and I don't think that they would make, depending on who's in the management, I don't think they would make the same mistake.
Nino,
Yeah.
realistically, how much do you think you guys could get out of Dusan Vlahovic?
I have no idea. I'm hearing
Listen,
15 million.
50 or
I'm hearing
40.
50 million. I don't know.
I
If
think
if
40
we get
or
15
50.
million, it's a complete utter disaster.
God,
I
man,
don't,
talk about a
I
loss.
don't think so. You know why? Because Bumba news just happened. It looks like Cristiano Ronaldo
Right now?
fired.
Oh, shit. Really?
What'd you say?
You're
Juntli
lying.
just got fired?
Brutally. It looks like it because Elkan, from Omblano.
No, are you serious?
It says this: John Elkan has
way.
decided to fire Cristiano Juntli, according
Good.
to Moblano, Pueblo Juve, and another source as well. So 3 sources. Cristiano
No
Juntli and
way.
his staff will shortly be asked to leave Juventus. John Elkan has decided to fire Cristiano Juntli. Just reposted that too.
Even though they just made the Champions League?
Even though that's the thing. I think
But that's
that
the level of the club. Like this is not
Yeah.
like we made it by the skin of our teeth. That's not how it's supposed to
Yeah.
be. You know what I mean? And I don't. It's not that I don't like Juntli, right? He made some very good signings. He brought us Thuram. He brought us he got us Kolo Muani on loan. I like Conceição. He brought us Vega. You know what I mean? These are not top players, but these are players that are here and they got the job done. But when you're throwing money around like for Cope Miners and Douglas Luiz and things like this, he just overpaid on a few different things and he underprepared. Like that's where he loses me. I think he's a great scout and a great sporting director, but he has too much power in who comes in, who goes in Juventus. That's why I think if Conte came in and had a little bit more power and he had a little bit less, it'd be a very good pairing. But I feel like the connection with him and Elkin is just too far gone, especially because he's really the one who wanted Thiago Motta, and that thing completely backfired. So I think the what's it called? I don't even know. Whatever you want to call it. Love story between the two. Yeah, like the love story between the two is just done. There's no repairing
That's
that.
just pretty funny to me, man. He disses Napoli like he did, and now he's done.
Yeah. Good.
Dumbass.
Yep.
Good.
So guys, I'm not sure if you can see my screen, but it says here Cristiano Juntli and his staff will shortly be asked to leave Juventus. John Elkan has decided to fire Cristiano Juntli. So, dang. I didn't
So-
expect this to be that quickly. But
I
this
don't-
is from
is it?
Monblano.
Wow.
I don't know. This is from Monblano. This is from Pueblo Juve as well. And also this is also from a different source as well.
Wow.
So 3
So
sources.
if you had to say how that actually went down, do you think that was Conte saying, "Hey, get this guy out of here. I ain't coming"?
It could be.
Easily.
It could be
Easily.
easily Conte. It could be easily Conte because I mean, if you think about it, let's see what happens with the idea is for Conte signings, right? I mean, Jonathan David, it looked like that we were getting closer and closer to getting him, but then Napoli supposedly now is. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Osimhen is still, now we'll see in the coming days since we did qualify for Champions League.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
Dude,
the
man, you gotta
problem.
forget about Osimhen, bro. You gotta forget about that, man. That shit ain't happening. There's no way
Man,
ADL's doing.
that's exactly what I said, brother. I agree.
Yeah.
We got to forget
No, I
about
mean-
that because
Yeah,
number
man.
one, you don't want to give money to Napoli. Number two, it's like
What do you mean? You guys
He
gave
ain't
money
wrong.
to Napoli. You guys gave money to Napoli when you got Higuain.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
but-
like $80 million. Are we for real here?
And you
We
paid
could get.
75.
I know. That's what I'm
Higuain.
saying. Like we're funding other. Like I swear, Juventus is funding other teams' projects.
I'm
Or
sure.
we gave-
I'm sure Juve regrets paying that much for Higuain because that helped us continue our trajectory upward.
It
So
did. It
but,
did.
I mean,
like
Osimhen-
Higuain, though.
But dude, Osimhen's a special player. He's still young. He's
Yeah.
hungry. I mean, it wouldn't be like buying Higuain. It would be a little different. But I'm sure that
I think
they
Juve needs
don't like
experience.
the fact.
I think
What's
Juve
that?
would need the. I think that Juve would need the experience, don't you think, Dan? Because we don't. Tell me a Scudetto player in the Juventus locker room right now. You can't really find one except for probably
Hold on,
Pinsolio.
man. Well,
Pinsolio,
hold on.
Petty.
Dude, Osimhen's not a great locker room guy. Just so you know.
Oh no, true. But at the same time is with having I think with Conte, I mean supposedly the problems were De Laurentiis now with Conte and Osimhen. That's what the that's what everybody was saying.
Oh yeah,
right?
that was. Yeah, that was. I'll be honest with you, man. The Osimhen relationship broke down over some social media shit more than
Yep.
anything else. That's what
Yep.
started it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Conte is just listen. We know that he's wanting his high demands. We know this. It's just going back to what Dan said before. When you bring Conte and when you said the 7 games in, say that Juve is not performing up to their expectations as soon as he comes in. Would he try to find, a way to cop out and find a way to say if like he's really going to believe in this project or not? So he's going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
We all know that. Come on. We all know Conte by this point. He's going to do it no matter what. He can have all the signings that he's blessed to have, whether it's bringing in Tonali, Osimhen. I'm just making up random names. But he's probably going to win Juve a Scudetto. And then maybe, who knows, stay another season. And then either by the end of next season or the season after that, he's always going to find a way to cop out. He's going to be like, I'm leaving because you didn't give me enough for this player or whatever. He's always going to find a way to cop out and leave a club. I mean, this is
I
for
get it.
me, man, it's not even about like next season. For me, it's about the beginning of this season.
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking is going to have a negative effect if he does flip out. So I was asking if the Juve fans here think that he will. Will he be as impatient as he has been in other moments in his career? Or do you think that maybe he's grown up a little bit, he's going to be a little bit more chill? Or do you think it's going to be the same old story? Because, dude, if they're not in the top 2 the first 7 matches of the season, he's not going to be happy. But is he going to be able to hold his stuff in? Because I don't know, man. If he doesn't,
I mean, of course, he won't be happy, but I feel like that he will stay with the objective, which will be to try to compete with the Scudetto with Juve. I don't think he would even leave mid-season, unless he's having problems with the management. Now with the management, it could be a whole different what's going on for this summer. It could be like a whole different management. That's why I'm like, Chiellini's supposedly going to be this new CEO. We'll see what happens with the whole management as well. Giuntoli's apparently now is leaving. So
I think this is a different transfer for Conte than a normal.
yeah.
But then a normal just I'm picking up and leaving.
No, I think he'll
Conte
stay with Juve for 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
Conte didn't like Italy or didn't like England. Like
No.
he copped himself out of Tottenham. He copped himself out. He liked Napoli. He said it. He liked Napoli. But there's a reason if Juventus has an opening, there's a reason other than soccer or football that he's going there. Yeah.
How old is his daughter?
I don't know. That's a good question. But his wife,
Mm.
like he met his wife as a player. His daughter lives in Torino. His wife lives in
Yeah.
Torino. His family is in Torino. So the only reason I will be thinking that he's willing to thug the storm out is because he has a life there where he can go home to his wife and daughter and
That makes sense.
chill
Yeah.
out and then come back to work the next day and start screaming again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only reason. Otherwise, I would agree with you, Dan. I would say he's gonna come and if something goes south, do his normal stuff.
This is a good comment from my guy Nirak. He says Conte already has a few players he likes at Juve. Remember, he preferred Coop Miners as that was his number one at the moment option in the summer of 2024, but settled for McTominay, who did well. Now that's the thing. Can
Dang,
Conte revive these players?
Saying settled for McTominay now is actually insane.
No, I mean, no, but if you think about it, if it wasn't for
I agree.
Mana
I
too,
agree.
you know what I mean?
No, I'm saying,
yeah.
I'm just saying the level of the two are completely different. That's what I'm saying
Well,
right now. Like it went from Coop Miners McTominay to Coop Miners on the floor McTominay.
But if you think
know what I
about
mean?
it, Nino, but if you think about it, no, I get it. But I feel like that if we give, of course, Coop Miners another season with Antonio Conte as the manager, I feel like that he would do very well.
Yeah.
I think he will get revived because that's
said,
what
yeah.
Conte loves.
Can't
That's
do
what
much
Conte
worse.
does. That's
Exactly.
what Conte does. Exactly. But that's
Can't do much worse,
yeah,
man.
exactly. But that's what Conte does, though. I think he gets the best out of the players. I mean, he did it with Napoli side that had Juan Jesus as a center back for a couple games, and they won most of them, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he could
yeah,
do
no,
that,
no,
imagine
I
him with
agree.
Nelly Kelly over there in the back line. I'm telling you, I'm gonna laugh if this guy starts freaking playing good.
I
I'm gonna be like, oh my
Conte
god.
could fix that.
I
genuinely don't think
mean-
that's fixable.
Before we go, I mean, we got to talk about Inter.
This guy's obsessed
This guy
Inter.
with Inter, bro.
I mean, we have to talk about it, man. We have to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
It's
It's
Tutto
just-
Calcio, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's just
Yes.
with Inter. I mean, listen, going into the season, they were favorites. I mean, every season on paper, they're always favorites. And I get it, with the squad, the talent that they have on the squad, it makes sense. But I just feel like, it's an Inzaghi masterclass once again. Over managing certain games way too much and making the wrong decisions always at the wrong times, and it just always brings a smile to my face because oh man, I freaking hate that team so much.
Question.
We need Nick on here to see what he says about his time at Lazio.
Oh, I know. Where is he, man?
Yeah,
I got
man.
a question. I got a question for you guys. Do you think that if Inter wins the UCL, it's a successful season? Well, we could all agree on that.
Yeah.
If they lose the UCL, is this a failure of a season for
Oh,
Inter?
hell yeah.
Or-
Oh,
Absolutely.
hell yeah.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah,
is this-
bro. Hell
No,
yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Why don't you
No.
agree with that? Why?
I know we were talking about that at the beginning before we got on, I think. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Getting to the UCL final is not nothing to like
I
it's a
agree.
big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I agree.
UCL final,
Yep.
that is a big deal.
No, I
And-
agree with you, but that was
and
their
the fact-
objective. That was their objective since the beginning of the season. Even Bastoni, like the other guys in the locker room, were like, "We want the UCL. That is our objective this season. We want the Champions
We
League."
want the Champions
Well,
League. That would be
yeah,
a failure.
but if they get to the final and they lose, I don't think that they're gonna just look at themselves as failures. I think they're gonna be disappointed. But I think failure is just a big word to tag
I get
onto that,
that.
man. Now,
Yeah, I get that.
the Scudetto part, they dropped the ball more than once or twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think for the Scudetto, I think they're looking in themselves in their mirror and they're saying, "Damn, we fucked up, bro. I mean, we shouldn't have been able to still win this with the final point tally, but getting to the final and not winning it, I don't think that they're going to look at themselves as being a failure overall in the big picture because they were able to get there, you know?
I get it.
I see where you're coming
just
from.
me.
I get
but
it.
It's just when you have that as your main objective at the beginning of the season, you wouldn't consider that a failure?
So like
Failure's a strong word, man. Failure's a strong word. I mean,
I honestly
I think
consider
they had a squad base where they could have up to 3 teams with the amount of players that they have. Okay,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
it's like, and some of the players. Listen, I get it. Taremi was a complete flop this year. He was a complete flop, and Zielinski didn't perform up to par. He wasn't the same like how he was at Napoli. Like I'm sure you know about. You know, I would say one good player was Zalewski when he came in January. You know, he was a good player when he came in on his own. But they have the bench to compete for La Tripleta. Tripleta. You remember how they were boasting about this tripleta?
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous to be trying to be talking about that. I mean,
exactly. So it's a failure because they were all, even some of the Inter players, and Mkhitaryan himself said, you know, in certain games, we think that we're so good that we overthink it, and then we lose focus in the game, and we lose. Or we tie the game and screw up the game. Right? Players themselves are even admitting it. So, yeah, for me, it's a failure. I think because I don't like Inter, because even looking at it from a neutral perspective, you know, you had an opportunity to win the Coppa Italia, the Scudetto at a certain point, and now you're in the Champions League final. Now,
they lost it all on the last day too. They lost the Copa in a semifinal
up to the final day, basically.
Yeah,
that's a good point, man. I mean, that's a good point. If players are talking like that, then
they deserve it. My take, ready?
It's not a failure when some of your players are talking like that.
Listen, no, I agree. My take, right?
Inzaghi included. Inzaghi, La Ballerino.
The only reason I would say it's a failure or like a complete disaster is because their whole this whole Inter run, right? They've won 1 trophy.
Yep.
They won 1 Scudetto. Have they won a Coppa Italia? I forget, or something.
They won
2.
With Inzaghi, they won 2 Coppa Italia, 2 Super Coppa, and a Scudetto. Yeah,
okay, all right. So then they got trophies, right? But they won 1 Scudetto in however many years
since Conte left.
Yes. They can't dominate like us. You know, they can't dominate.
I know, I know, but I'm being real. Like they've won 1 Scudetto in that many years. Their players, they're at the end of their run, in my opinion. Their players are getting older. Most of them. Lautaro's older. Lautaro's still great, obviously.
Lautaro's still young. He still got some legs in him.
No, I'm saying
he's getting ready to exit his prime now.
He's getting up there. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but Lautaro,
their whole
midfield,
like their whole midfield is going like.
Their midfield is. They should be in the retirement home, man.
That's what I'm saying. DiMarco's getting old. Like these their key cornerstone players are all aging, and they're gonna. I have a feeling they're losing Fratesi this summer. They're gonna lose some of their bench, and so we have to see what they bring in. But I think they're at the point where Juventus was, and where their players are all on high salary, and they're gonna need to start turning stuff over and doing new stuff in order to stay where they are. So if they don't win it this season, it's gonna be. I don't think it'll be guaranteed that they get back to Champions League.
Now here's another important question. If they don't win the UCL, what do you think is going to happen in the summer?
I think they're going to separate. I think they're going to separate, bro.
I don't think that's where I disagree with most people. Yes, if you want to say the season's a failure, that's fine. But I don't think that making a UCL final, coming second in the league, I mean, maybe the Copa and whatever, those were bad. But, I don't think that warrants firing Inzaghi, in my opinion.
No, I'm not saying firing Inzaghi. No, I'm talking about the players.
The players.
No, but that's what Gio was.
I'm not talking about Inzaghi. I'm talking about players.
Some people were like, Inzaghi out, about this and that. If he brought you to a UCL final and you're saying Inzaghi out, that's insane in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's absolutely insane. That's like me saying Allegri out back when he was winning us 6 Scudettos in a row. Like, how are you going to say Allegri out?
No, but if you think about it, you have to win something at the end of the day.
You got to win one.
You have to win at least one.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I agree.
You say you have to? Are you saying you have to just because you're saying that for this season? Or are you saying that in general?
For this season,
you
just saying
win
about this season,
one.
you got to win at least one competition.
Dude, they won the Scudetto last year, bro.
Listen,
but the thing is, with the Inter fans, man, they want to dominate for like how we did as Juventus.
I prefer for Inter to win.
Dude, that ain't gonna happen again.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna fucking win 9 Scudetti in a row. Number one, cheating ain't allowed anymore. People are actually getting busted for it for real now. It's not just willy-nilly letting that shit happen.
So you're saying Bayern winning 11 in a row is cheating as well?
Oh, are we talking about Serie A? Or are we talking about?
No, but I'm just saying.
Bundesliga?
But I'm just saying because they did
Serie A,
wonder streak.
Bundesliga.
Nobody.
I see Tutto Calcio up here, not Tutto Germany.
The only difference is that Juventus was winning Scudetti as they were competing in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Inter won one.
Also,
Inter won one, and is competing in the Champions League, but they are winning one Scudetto in 5 years.
Well, you also have to understand a lot of teams were going in financial debt. Inter, Milan, and I think Roma and Lazio, they weren't really financially stable at that time, like Juventus was.
I mean,
this is my question.
For the majority of that period, Napoli was the only serious.
It was the only team.
I wouldn't call it serious, man, but we're the only club that was actually really
trying.
No, you were serious. You were serious. There was one year that came down to Dybala goal against Lazio.
Lazio, yeah.
That was the 93rd minute.
93rd minute.
Whatever, you know what I mean? Like you guys were up there. Don't go you guys 91-point seasons, and don't discredit that.
As soon as they got that Cavani money and reinvested the squad over the years, man, it was.
Hey, but if you think, okay, so I want to ask you guys a question. So, for example, when Juve was in the Champions League final, right? We won the Scudetto and we won the Coppa Italia that season, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you consider that as a failure since we lost that final, or do you still count that as a success because we still won a trophy?
His dad considered it a failure. His dad considered it a failure.
That's what I'm saying.
Win the Champions League.
My dad saw the Juventus win the UCL back in the day.
He considered it a failure.
He has a bar that he has set, which is higher than mine.
I mean,
I consider it as a failure.
Just labeling something success in general, I mean something a failure in general. Those are like two, maybe words that are a little bit too strong. But yeah. I do think that it's been a long time since Juve has won a UCL. So anytime they're in the final, maybe saying a failure is more accurate than not because it's been since forever since they've done it, Yeah.
The only counter argument I have, and I'm not disagreeing with you, like we got there, we should have finished the job.
Yeah, obviously. We should have finished the job, bro.
But then I'm looking at, this is me, I guess, coping. I don't really know how you whatever you want to say, but you're looking at two of the best teams we've ever seen in the world ever. No two teams that we've faced in the Champions League finals will ever be like that again. Prime Barcelona, which we beat the year before to go versus Madrid, and then prime Real Madrid when Ronaldo does a bicycle kick from outside the box and it goes in the goal. So I'm proud. Honestly, I don't know if this is dumb, but I'm proud to where Juventus got us in that time period because we were facing all-time great teams.
All-time great teams.
Great teams. There's no two teams better than prime Barca and prime Madrid. I'll argue with you all day.
Those teams are scary.
Milan
was
winning those Champions Leagues, bro.
Yes. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. They were scary too.
even Milan up. Milan's probably top 3. Though that's probably the top 3. Those are probably the top 3 teams that have ever been constructed. You know what I mean? So I'll say, yeah, it's a failure, but I'm not mad that we lost those teams to those teams, because those were teams. You know what I mean? Like those were teams.
I'm waiting for the day where someone could try to replicate what Carlo Ancelotti did with Milan.
Yeah, no.
I'm waiting for that day, man. What from 2003 to 2007, what he did, Champions League itself, what he did, my God, man, that was crazy.
Dude, that's right around when I started watching Calcio, and I remember watching Milan on TV, and I was like, oh my God, we will never fucking win a Scudetto. Every single player looked like they could beat their man, run past their man, shoot with their left, shoot with their right. They look fucking organized. You know, man, that team was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So like to say it's a failure might be harsh, but it might not be. It depends on the person. But Inter, who'd they play? They played Man City. That Man City team, I'm sorry, any Man City fans, but that Man City team that won the Scudetto does not line up with any of those 3 teams that we just spoke about, at all. And if they're versing a PSG team that's very raw, you know what I mean? So if Juventus came up against these, I think it would have been a different story. But I'm not going to sit here and compare eras, because we're in different eras. It is what it is. We lost them. But
I mean, I think Juve would have beat this Man City team.
100%.
The way that we were constructed, we would have done a way better job.
It's different era. It's different eras. You can never compare.
Yeah, you can't.
You just compare what you had at the time versus what you have now. You know what I mean? So we lost, and it is what it is. But I'm not mad that we lost. Yes, we should have won, but I'm proud that we matched up to those teams, and it was a fight. It was a fight. We competed with the best in the world ever.
I won't forget that 3-0 on Barcelona. I won't ever forget that.
Yeah, with Dybala, that's where Dybala was born.
Dude, that was insane.
That player, he was insane, man.
I fucking hate Juve, man, but I can't fucking hate the ball. Dybala is special, bro.
That's funny. That's so funny, because you can't say you hate Napoli, but there's I love Insigne just for what he did in the Euros.
Look at this shameless guy, Melody.
I love
Insigne
and Cavani.
You see this shameless guy?
Yo,
you see this shameless guy?
I remember that team, the Juve 08-09 team. Those guys were old, man.
Awful, bro. This guy. Oh my God!
I'm surprised how they got 3rd place that year.
We got 3rd. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Milan got 2nd. Inter got
second.
1st.
Inter first.
Got 3rd.
Oh my gosh.
That Juventus UCL team is beating any team in the world right now.
Nah, don't respect those freaking frauds. AK, what are you talking about? Don't respect those merde, man. Don't respect them.
Bro, I got respect for Lukaku, though. I can't.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, Lukaku, bro. Perfect, man.
I used to clown on him.
Bravissimo. You know why? Because
when he was in DiMarco's way for that header, man. And when he missed that open header,
and then he scores the final goal for Napoli to win the Scudetto on the last. To take away the Scudetto against Inter. Oh my gosh, I love it, bro. I love it. This is why, you know what? I can't hate Napoli. Bro. Come on.
Listen,
as much as you guys hate
that goal was prime Lukaku too, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that was, bro.
It reminded me of those Inter days, man. He was scary when he was in his prime then.
Yeah. In the next
fellas. Yeah. I need to get going, man.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna end it here.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna end it here, everybody. Of course, thank you for watching as always for the Tutto Calcio episode 4. Episode 5 will be soon, possibly Tuesday. We'll see. I'm still thinking about what day we're gonna put it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Of course, Juventus news videos. I already put my max reaction. It's gonna be a lot of new stuff as well for, of course, Juventus content. And then the new show, Football Arena, is debuting on Wednesday. So we already got the panel show. AK knows because he's a panel guest as well. So he's going to be on it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning. Of course, like and subscribe on the way out. Of course, share the content as always. And ciao, everybody. We'll see you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao.
This is Russ production.